From Colorado.
I thank the chairman and thank the witnesses and have no questions.
The gentlelady from New Mexico.
Thank you so very much, and thank you, Chairwoman, and thank you, Representative. So I would like to enter into the record, Mr. Chairman, I request unanimous consent to enter into the record a letter of opposition to Republicans' attempts to overturn the Department of Labor's joint employer rule. The letter is co-signed by 72 labor and workers' rights organizations representing tens of millions of American workers.
Without objection.
Thank you very much. And I think what this letter signifies as it writes down and what we heard from Representative Rights is the fact that it is so important to make sure that workers are able to enforce their rights, that they're able to unionize, that they're able to protect their rights, regardless of whatever shell games may be played by contractors. And so with that, I will yield back unless there is anything that you would like to add to this, Representative Wild.
I'd like to just comment on the question asked by Representative Norman. I think it's very important to note that the joint employer rule requires that the two employers share or co-determine one or more of the employee's essential terms and conditions of employment. So this is not a situation where a McDonald's, for instance, franchise has to necessarily be considered a joint employer, the franchisor and the franchisee, because if the franchisee makes the determination that certain employees are going to work certain hours, that they're going to, remember the franchise relationship, which is where most of the criticism usually comes from, is modeled on the idea that the successful franchisor brand is followed through in the franchisee's place of business. So they want to make sure that it looks like all of the other franchises. They want to make sure that it's kept clean and orderly and that the quality of the food, if that's involved, is standard. They are not going to be getting involved in things like what hours you determine employee X or employee Y may work. You would not be a joint employer in that situation. And so I think that it's a myth to think that all of a sudden we're going to see nothing but joint employers everywhere, because the small business owner, in this case a franchisee, which is a small business most of the time, although some franchisees own hundreds of franchises, is still able to control the essential conditions of his or her workers' employment.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure. I'll yield.
Oh, I'm sorry.